Hello guys, welcome back to the Railway Nation. Now today we are flying the OS2U, which was requested by Professor Stupid, who's requested quite a few aircraft for me to fly. So drop my bombs, missed, gotta hit those, so that's five Silver Lions, which is enough to get me absolutely nothing. But anyway, so this battle here you're watching now, nothing really significant happened. Apart from that, it gave me an idea, which I went on to use in a later battle, which made me in this aircraft quite successful. This aircraft in general is incredibly slow. You stall when you turn because it just can't accelerate. And what happens in this battle gives me an idea of how to make it fly a lot faster and be able to use it as a fighter aircraft. Although that part comes a bit later in this battle. First off, now I'm just trying to get ground targets, because this thing flies so slow, by the time you're at the battlefield, it's already swarmed with enemy aircraft, and you will be shot down. But at the moment, it looks like no one's really coming towards me. I'm sort of being left to my own devices to just destroy ground targets and do what I want. Okay, but now we have an I-15 coming head on. Firing the shots. Keep firing. Got a hit. And he's damaged me, but I look to be okay at the moment. The guy came up behind me. Go full power, and my engine fails. So I go back, and what's happening? I'm falling. So I hit the ground, and my main float goes. And this gives me an idea that maybe if I can get rid of the main float and the side floats before I really start in a battle, I might be able to fly faster and be more maneuverable. So after this battle, I decided to enter another battle, where I decided to attempt this and see how it really goes. So, yeah, let's go to that other battle and see how it goes and what happens. Right, so I just started the battle. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to fly along and attempt to knock off my floats on the runway, because these floats are very heavy and create a lot of drag. So if I can, there we go, that's the middle one gone. And one of the side ones. You need to be very careful because you don't want to hit the propeller or knock your wing off or just fly into the ground. Come on. There we go, that's gone. Pull up. Oh, yes, I did it. Nice. Okay. So, I've got two 100-pound bombs. And you may notice already this thing is now flying a lot faster than it was in the last battle. Even so usually the cruise speed's around 90 miles an hour. Now it's going 142. As well as that, the roll rate has improved, and so has the general turn rate. So this thing is definitely a lot more maneuverable, which is a really good thing actually now. So I can now probably use this as a fighter, because the maneuverability matches that of some other early fighter aircraft. And it's not like there was not a floatless version of the OS2U. There was. It was the OS2U3. Which was a variant that had a fixed undercarriage. So, that could be something for Gaijin to look into the future. Although I know that at the moment, the OS2U has been sort of removed from the game. You can't research it anymore. You can only... I think you will in the future be able to get it from a special event. Like you can the PO2 and the TB3. But, I researched it before they removed it, so I still have it. Although they should really look into adding the version with the fixed gear. So I think that would be a really fun little aircraft for people to fly about, and it would also probably be quite a maneuverable vehicle. But the one thing the fixed gear version can't fix is the armament. This thing and the fixed gear variant both still only have a single 7mm machine gun at the front and a single 7mm machine gun for the rear gunner, which isn't the best armament really. The one upside I can think of is the ammo. I believe it's 500 ammo. That lasts quite a long time with only a single gun. But it would be good if there was more ammunition. It would last longer. And then it could be used for getting more ground targets, maybe even kills. Anyway, guys, so now this aircraft is climbing now at roughly a cruising speed of about 137 miles per hour, going up and down. Right, so we've got two I-15s over there. See what we can do. An enemy P-26 has just crashed. This is a mixed nation battle, which Some people have issues with them. I don't really have a problem with the mixed nation battles. It's just sort of mixes it up a bit. Although I do agree with some points where people say if you want to play mixed nation, you should just go and do arcade battles. But I don't know, it makes realistic a tad more fun sometimes. Right, we're gonna go for that I-15 down there. So yeah, the aircraft looks a lot nicer without the floats, I think. He's crashed. Always been shot down by the looks of it. Right, there's another one over there. Let's go for him instead. I think the aircraft looks nicer, and it's definitely a lot faster. And it has a really big tail, probably to still have maneuverability when the floats are on. But once you've removed the floats, if you don't crash while trying to remove them, which I'm actually really surprised I didn't crash the aircraft while removing the floats, but you know, it's got lucky probably. But yeah, the big tail really does lead to really good maneuverability, surprisingly. And here you go, we're cruising at quite a high speed. One issue though is the flaps do whip off at a relatively high speed. They tend to whip around. Oh, 1 minute. What? Might I get a kill here? He's getting close. He's on fire. I'm gonna fire anyway. Hit. Hey, I got a kill in the OS2U. Who would have ever thought that? Well, that went well. Got a kill in it. So that went really well. I'm happy with that. Right. So there's a lag 3 down there. I'm gonna head over there. Mainly because there is also quite a few ground targets. So you never know. I might be able to get a kill, which would be quite good. Another kill, that is. Awesome ground targets. I don't really want to be in a situation where I have to use the rear gunner, because the rear gunner on this aircraft is very bad. Although it is the same gun as the front, I did just get a kill with the front gun, so that's pretty good. Happy with that. So, there are some ground targets down there. The lag 3's flying away, and there's a 109. So, I'm going to head towards the ground target and see if we can get any ground target destroys or another kill. So I'm still flying just down. You can notice this is flying relatively fast. I'm in a shallow dive, slowly accelerating to about 100, 190 to 200. I find the WEP is a lot more effective with this, without the floats. With the floats on, the WEP doesn't really do anything. Although, if you're in a turn with the floats, you really need to just stay on WEP to stop yourself from stalling. With this, as soon as you're out of a turn, you're accelerating, so it's perfectly good. Really good fighter aircraft in this setup. I think the performance is very similar to the first F2A Buffalo, actually, without the floats. Landing is a tad tricky, but that's only because you don't have any wheels. But landing it with the floats, you don't have wheels anyway. So, yeah, it's about the same. Come in slow, try and get a flat landing, and hope you do okay. Right, well, we're now coming up to the anti-aircraft guns, so I don't want to come in too shallow, because they're on a hill, and I don't want to fly into the side of a hill or knock my propeller, because then I will not be able to, keep flying, and I'll have to crash. And I don't think I can glide back to base. I don't think I can glide this uphill, so, yeah. I did try to do the same thing, actually, with the Japanese 1.0 battle-rated biplane float attack aircraft. And the only attempts I've done so far, I got one of the wing floats off and the main float, and then attempting to get the second wing float off, the wing basically destroyed itself and I went into the ground, or I hit the propeller. So it's definitely a difficult thing to do, really. You need to have a very, very slow rate of descent to actually be able to do anything. So yeah. It's not exactly the easiest thing to do, but I don't know, it performs a lot better. It's quite fun to fly once it is going better. So yeah, well, up to now I have got a few ground targets. Got an AA, nice pull up. Especially since the increased maneuverability, you can afford to stay on attack runs for longer and not fly into the ground, which is definitely very good. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about this aircraft. There we go, got another artillery. Okay, so we got our bombs. Let's drop our bombs on this light tank. I'm a tad high, drop them about now. Nice, target destroyed. Okay, I'm going to head back to base now, I think. That would probably be the wise thing to do. Yeah, I'm gonna head back to base. Or, I still have a tad of ammo, so I'm gonna just go for a few more. Firing, destroyed, and my magazine is out for the machine gun. So, let's begin to head back to the base, and hopefully land this thing without crashing. Okay, so, there's not many enemy aircraft left. Another one's just been shot down. That's pretty good. Looks like we're doing well this battle. So yeah. When I'm first on the team, that's just an extra little good thing for me there. Right, so in terms of videos coming out soon, tomorrow should be the H6K4 video for my normal War Thunder series. Looking forward to that. That'll be good fun. I will also be doing another KSP video in a few days, hopefully, as well as more requests. Professor Stupid has requested, as well as this, the Focke-Wulf 200 Condor and the 82 Sky Raider. I've got the Condor, so I'll be doing a video on that within the next few days. I do not have the Sky Raider, so I'm going to be grinding that and getting it within a few weeks and doing a video on it. And that's pretty much it for videos. Maybe I might do I put up a We're Away video today, so be sure to check that out, give it a like. There'll be another one of them soon, hopefully, just to keep up the dominance of the We're Away on this channel, because it is, of course, the greatest aeroplane ever built. So that's that for upcoming videos, pretty much. Just there demonstrating turning off the engine on this thing, and just yeah, okay, so we're going to head back to the airfield now. Might just skip forward in the battle just to speed up. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch 5 minutes of me flying this thing back to the airfield, which I suppose would take quite a while. Even though this thing can now fly faster, it is still relatively slow, and this is quite a big map. This map tends to be, I tend to see this map actually in jet battles and with tier 4 Japanese. So yeah. Okay, so just going to head in the direction of the airfield. This thing is a 53-minute fuel load, which is quite impressive with the new maneuverability and speed this thing has at this tier. It's a 1.0 battle rating, so you're flying about the same speed as reserve aircraft, instead of being way slower than reserve aircraft, as well as also being able to outturn on some occasions reserves. Not always, but some occasions you can, which is quite impressive, actually. Okay, so let's jump. In a sec we'll jump, actually, we'll jump forward in a minute. So yeah, this thing is still quite slow, which... It's not... I don't have an issue with it. Thing is, I got this aircraft, and I did not fly it, apart from a few arcade battles when I first got it, only a few weeks after starting the game. Okay, so we jump forward there, coming in for the airfield, and as you may notice, it's got the flaps down, and it's saying attract flaps, and I was only going 118 miles an hour, which, I don't get why the flaps whip off at that speed, it's horrible, but it happens. Luckily, I can easily control the effect with one flap on full and one completely gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close that flap for now, and then keep opening and close it, similar to how I would use an air brake on landing, just to keep the aircraft speed relatively low. So we're coming in now. I need to be as slow as possible for touchdown. I don't want to rip off a wing or anything. So just trying to keep it relatively level and slow. And come in on a nice stable approach. Okay, here we go, pulling back, and I've sort of stalled it. And oh, there we go, that was a relatively nice touchdown. And skidding to a stop. And as you may notice, it looks like it's hovering. But I think that's due to the flight model, including the floats. It still basically thinks with the physical model that they're there. So it's effectively hovering and you haven't broken the propeller, which is interesting really, but yeah, I don't really get that. But yeah, so anyway, that was quite a successful little experiment there. So yeah. Well anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.